You're taking a 2D flat piece of panel and you need to make it conform to a 3D panel. And once I get it into a relaxed state, stretch that down. Now, I've got proper tension that runs where it needs to. You don't have to use any more heat for the rest of this fender. You can lift this up and stretch and roll this into place. That place that you were fighting in here, I've pulled tension in line so that would actually feed in. So now, lift this up, and this all, in theory, feeds right on in, with no wrinkles.
Heat, tension.
But you have to pull tension in the correct way. So what I see a lot of people do, especially on like TikTok, they just heat and shove, heat and shrink, heat and do whatever else to try to pull. But what will end up happening is when it goes out in the sun, that thing will be wrinkled up like crazy and it shrinks back. So what you want to do is you want to actually pull tension in line that it shrink wraps itself instead of the opposite. And I'll show you a perfect example of that. So this is what I see everybody on TikTok do. They heat, and then they make it fit. And they're like, yeah, I know how to wrap cars. And they make their cut, and then they do this, and they're like, yeah, I did something. Now watch what happens when I put heat on it. Look how crinkled those edges are. That looks terrible.
I see what you're saying.
So what you want to do is you're going to use heat. You want to heat in line with the way that you're going to be pulling. So now I'm pulling downwards. I make my cut. Now watch what happens to it. It wrapped itself around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
People just heat and stretch, but you can't do that. You have to be able to read the material, know where it needs to go, know where the tension needs to flow. So looking at bumpers with complex curvatures, you need to be able to see where I can push material that would normally have a big recess that you would have to heat and stretch. If you create a wrinkle there, that wrinkle means you have too much material. But you can use wrinkles in places that you need a lot of material. So like on the back of your trunk, where that back bumper is really deep, you can put a bunch of wrinkles into that section and that'll naturally just feed in versus heating and stretching. That's
Yeah.
where you see most people fail.
No, that makes sense. So that's tragic too, because if you do it incorrectly, you're not really gonna know until you like, yeah.
Which is what everybody does.